Hello, everyone.
Hello there. Hey,
How
Omar.
are you guys doing?
All good. Let's see if I can turn my video on.
I will be talking about the importance of understanding of the customer on e-commerce marketplaces worldwide and how this will boost your sales. And we have Stefano talking about as well about the international marketplaces. We have Nish, we'll be talking about aggregators and exits, everything what we need. We have Rob. Rob will be talking about videos and anything around there. And we need all these tools in order to make the perfect Amazon listing or sales on Amazon. So let me just try to share this now. Share the screen. Stefano, can you see?
Yes.
Okay. And let's do this. So we have here, I will begin with the, normally it should be the other way around, but it's let's start with the listings. So the importance of understanding of your customer in the e-commerce markets worldwide and how this will boost your sales. So we have a lot of points. So myself, I'm the host. My name is Omar. Angri. I'm the CEO of marginbusiness.com. And we have, this is my profile. Just very quickly about something about myself. Co-founder of Margin Business. We founded the company 10 years ago. For translations, we helped Amazon sellers to sell more since the last 10 years and improve our expertise throughout the years with different companies and different businesses which are still with us today or which grew so much that they already exited. So we helped many sellers in the past, as already mentioned, in order to sell better on Amazon or sell more, because we are not just artists, as I'm always saying. We're really technicians. We help that you can sell more. So why do you need your listings translated? This is a good question, because most of the people don't really think about that, or most don't really. Most of the times it's not really the question for anyone. It's just they just pull it out, pan EU, and then on 4 or now 8 countries, including the small country Belgium, and Google Translate or just write something about their items just to get it out there. But right now it's not anymore that easy. I'm sure Nish can confirm that, because aggregators are putting a lot of funds in these type of operations in order to stick out and in order to sell more than just smaller sellers or even wipe them out, because it's very, very competitive. So we have 25 countries in the EU, all speaking different languages within. So depending on the marketplace and location you are wishing to sell in, the listing should be translated in the native mother tongue. So we have 3 types of translations. We have Google Translate, free and accessible to anyone. We have the native tongue translation. We have, this includes keywords, human translation services, and in their desired market language. And we have the full localization and market research service. So the difference between them all is that when somebody translates a listing, you don't really know what he's actually doing. He just translates and see this as a job, as a manual or something like that, in order to translate. But when we translate a listing, it's really different, because at the same time you need to be copywriter. It needs to come out of Amazon and speak to you and just pull you in, and just that you want to buy it, and that oh, this is somebody from my country who wrote it. So make the customer already happy. As well, the SEO is super important. We build keywords in which non-native speakers cannot find. So we have in every country different native speakers who will research the keywords on our special basis that we have invented, researched over the years how it will be the best to search. We have 3 different ways to search, 3 different layers, and at the end comes out the best keyword that we can use for that product, and of guarantee that it will sell as well. Why Google Translate is not the answer? There have been so many, I think this topic, there have been so many topics about this, but in general, Google Translate is not so much behind anymore, but it's still like a robot. So we want something where we can really find ourselves, which we can read. I mean, not every customer reads the whole thing. So I think for now, if we have a really good listing, this will help us definitely to sell more. So very important is that you do the competitor research. So it's not just translating, there are so many other things behind it. So we need to do the competitor research. We need to localize the experience. The translations need to be made, and the keyword research need to be done for every single product as well. What makes the perfect translator localization or expert? So like already mentioned before, we need to win the customer's trust. Once we have the trust, once you say, okay, he's from my country, I can trust them, they have a correct price, their pictures look correct. So I'm really, the customer won't think like that. The customer is just processing very fast, has a credit card in hand, and boom, he wants to buy. That's it. So Amazon, you know, everything is pre-done, and just click the button and buy. So we want them to buy from us, and this is how we have the listings done. So your translator should be able to find the keywords which are non-native, machines won't. Your translator should be able to analyze the negative reviews and apply them to specific countries and specific listings, which means that in every country, in the 8 countries that we have, we need to make sure that everything, that the research is done correctly, that from the reviews, we can actually understand what this product needs to be better, or how we can really approach in the listing to write and to destabilize the other sellers, because the mistakes what they do, we don't want to do. So we really have to make sure that we either make the product better, or make sure that we really work on the listing to inform the customers that there is better options than in the other listings in the other countries. So really study your niche and make sure that you understand your customer avatar. I hope I don't go away the time, by the way. It's like 10 minutes for each, so I think I have 2 minutes left, and then we jump to the next one. So what do you need? So what do you need to have? So why do you need to have the successful translation? Native tongue translation in each country make you sell a lot more. It's appealing to the customer. As already said, country specific is super, country specific SEO will be as well integrated within. So now I'm talking about all of this, and you hear taxes, then you hear this and that, and then you say, Europe, why? I mean, there's so much to do. Yes, there is so much, a lot of work. There's a lot of money to invest, there's a lot of time to invest. And this is why we're all here for. We want to make profits, so we have to invest. We are not anymore in 2010 where we just could have, you know, put some money in and have a ROI of 500, 600 in one go. No, now we really need to maybe even lose money before we even win. So yes, we need to invest a lot of time and a lot of money in order to make it further and compete with a lot of strong sellers out there. Okay, so this one we spoke already about. Any questions? We will do this later. I'll let the rest talk. Thank you so much for listening. Sorry again that we don't have the camera at the moment. I'm the only one with the camera. While the others will be talking now, I will be trying again to get this straight and make sure that we are having the camera on. Stefano, do you want to be next? Because Nick is last, he makes the exit. So literally,
sure.
literally niche makes the exit. So
Okay.
great, Stefano. Your
Yes.
stage. You have about 10 minutes in order to do this. Obviously, I give you. We can have as well more because I really like to speak to you guys. So yeah, let's do this.
Shall I share my screen? I have
yes,
a
yes,
short
please.
presentation.
Yes, please.
So at least people see something. Otherwise, just blank screen. Okay. Please let me know if you see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen.
So my presentation is going to be on growth in Europe. We specifically focus on Amazon Europe, and we help across all the big 5 marketplaces. Of course, there are minor marketplaces in Europe, but as you guys may know, these 5 countries, UK, Germany, Italy, France, and Spain, represent probably around 95 to 98% of the sales, right? Depending on the category you're in. Briefly introduce myself and the agency. So I started as a seller since 2017. I've helped brands sell in Europe. And right now I just focus on the agency part. So as I said, we focus in helping 6, 7, and 8 figures brands sell and grow in Europe. This is a visual representation of the countries. Actually, there's another map, but okay, this is like a percentage, right? Percentage of sales that you get in different European countries. Germany is the biggest, of course. Then we have the UK. Then we have France, Italy, and Spain. Of course, it's important to underline that depending on the category, this percentage can be different, although we know for a fact that Germany is definitely the one where you get most of your sales. So I'm not gonna dwell too much on our history. I'll try to make it short because I have just 10 minutes. So I'll skip this part. What we do, of course, we help in initially understanding exactly how we can help. That's why we do an audit on the brand before working with them. So we analyze the competition, the market, of course, level of keyword volume, how many times are actually clients looking for your keyword. So we will do all that in the initial stage. And that's called the market study, where we understand which products make sense for you to launch in which country, right? Because each European country is different. So we'll have to do this initial market study. If you're already selling, then we will do an audit. But the point here is that when you're launching and growing in Europe, you have to consider many aspects. I want to present an individual case if possible, because many times we just have generic information. So I'm gonna give a sort of a quick case study on how we do this, what we analyze, right? Because to grow, you have to have the right foundation, Omar, at the end of the day. So it's important to have a general and good understanding of the brand. So these are the main metrics we analyze. Of course, it's account health. That means AZ claims, performance notifications, seller metric, customer feedbacks. For those that are already selling, they know what I'm talking about. But these are metrics that make sure you don't get suspended pretty much if they keep in good standings. Then we have sales KPI, we have listings KPIs, we have operations KPIs, and then we also do a SWOT analysis. I don't want to bore the audience, but I feel like this is overlooked. So the growth stage has to have, as I said, good foundations. So this is very important because if the foundations are not in, right, then it's going to be complicated for you to grow. As I said, you don't want to build a sandcastle, right? So, so what we do apart from analyzing all these important KPIs, we also dwell deep into PPC if you're already selling, right? And understand where your waste spend is going. As you can see here, we have some infinite, and some high percentage. That means that these particular keywords are just spending money, not converting. And this, I'm not gonna go into deep in what all this number means. And then we, of course, while we're managing brands, we also show the progression, and this is like the KPIs we consider, right? These are business reports KPIs combined with PPC KPIs. And of course, you can see total revenues, PPC revenues percentage over total revenues. We have PPC costs over total revenues. ACOS, these are PPC KPIs, impressions, click CTR, and conversion rate. Conversion rate is the time, is how well your listing converts. All right, so I'm going fast. I'm trying to convey the idea here that to grow, right, you really have to consider all these aspects. And the initial stage when you're launching new products has to have a goal, right? So you have to understand where is your product life cycle, like in which stage is your product. Are you just launch your product? Has your product been there for 2 years? And for these considerations, then there are different strategies we use. This is sort of plan of action that we have. So okay, let's talk a little bit more about growth, right? Growth. What does growth means on Amazon? Growth means that you have to keep in mind the 80-20 rules, that most probably 20% of your products will give you 80% of the results. That means understanding exactly your cost of goods, understanding your numbers, apart from the KPIs that I've spoken about here before. You also have to have your number clear. And most of the time is a matter of understanding which products are making the most profits for you and which you should cut. And also which countries are performing the best for you. Because as I said, each European countries, let me go back to the map here, has different customers. So a Spanish guy is different from a German in the sense that even the listing has to be different. The competition is different. We have many brands that encounter high level of competition, let's say in Italy, but not so much in France because there are many local brands that just sell in their own country. So it can get complex if you're not able to monitor this information, track them, and as I said, have a goal in mind, but also being able to adjust quickly since new competitors can come. So for each country, we devise a different strategy, and depending on how the product is performing, at the end of the day, I mean, the brands, they want to see numbers, right? They want to see profit. So if you're spending too much in PPC, that's not going to help you to grow, because as you guys know, running a product-based business is very cash intensive. So you also have to monitor your profitability. I've tried to squeeze in 10 minutes as much information as I could. I hope I didn't put too much. Omar, I can't hear you. I see you're trying to talk. But
right. It's
yes,
okay. Don't worry. You can continue. You know why? Because for now, Nick is not there. So we have a little bit more time for everyone to talk. So I really want to give you, because I really like what you say about the growth and the revenue within the European Union. So please just continue. Okay. Not a problem. We just have a little bit more time because, like I said, I hope Nick is okay, you know, because he don't reply in any channel. So yeah, let's just continue.
Okay. Well, I can make some additional points, Omar. Recently, Amazon is really pushing into brand registry and kind of not forcing, but gently nudging brands to register and to have the best content there. So actually, I've seen recent accounts being created, not being able to load their listings because they haven't applied for brand registry. So it seems to us that that's key. And I mean, you guys produce content, so you must know that. Amazon is more
Sure.
and more professional. So for those brands that want to launch on Amazon, they have to consider that now there is you have to be more serious. You have to have the best content possible, especially in some niches like supplements. You need A plus content. You need store. But as I said, having a brand registry, having a trademark is key, in my opinion, right now, for many reasons. First of all, you get worse customer service if you don't have it. Second, you cannot have A plus content, as I said, the store and all the other display ads and sponsor brands, right, on PPC. So to sum it up, I would say Europe is more and more, Amazon Europe is more and more competitive, and there's a higher threshold to be competitive there and to be successful, higher investment, I would say, as well. But for those that do this, then the rewards come because not many brands are actually putting the right amount of effort. And so we see those brands that are investing for the mid-long term definitely see results. Those that want to just come in and make some quick bucks, as it was maybe 5 years ago, really struggle. They don't see results. They haven't invested enough, and then maybe they leave or they are disappointed with the results, right? So that's a consideration that I think it's important to make. I'm sure Nish would agree, since he sees many brands, as he's in the business of buying and selling brands. So definitely he would appreciate this point.
Great. Stefano, I'm really happy that you could speak about this today and give us your knowledge, because like I said, it's like you already said, it's beginning to get very, very professional, but still, you know, we're still saying European Union is definitely an easy entry point for any mid-sized to large US seller who want to try to come to Europe. And I don't say try his luck. I say try because PPC is super cheap. The competition is smaller than in the US, and there is so many things to do here in the European Union to sell more and to really get the knowledge what you have in the US, because you know it's the knowledge in the US is very good about listing optimization, about repricing, about the whole tactics and strategies and softwares that are offered in the US. And with all of this knowledge, you can only win coming into the into European Union. Don't let yourself discouraged by taxes. Normally we have Nick about he's speaking about the taxes, you know. But he has the plan. He has the plan. He can you know, he can help with you. Hellotax is the one who can really make this happen in order for you to begin your journey. And then we will follow up marginbusiness.com. Then Stefano followed up. We do this in a cooperation. So we have the PPC lined up with your listings. And we have Rob, obviously, for the videos in and off Amazon. And then we have Nish helping you. When we have built your business, Nish will help you to exit afterwards. So yeah, just one quick update. It was my fault actually that the cameras don't work, because I set it up. There's like 1,000 different things to click in the Zoom webinar. So I managed to click cameras off, and I cannot get in there anymore because we're already live. So yes. Sorry about that. It's my first time hosting a large webinar like that. Normally I'm the podcast guy. So I'm appearing on a few podcasts. I'm doing my own podcast, and Nick was the organizer up to now. And now he said, try to do it. And I tried, and you know, this is what happened, but next time it's going to be better. We learn from our mistakes, but you know, everything is good. We still get some premium content out here, and we have a good time together. And I hope we give lots of value without our faces, or only my face here. I would love to see you guys as well. But you know, let's make the best out of it. Rob, it's your turn. If you would like to take the lead right now, I would be very happy to listen what you got to say about the recent yeah, what's going on Amazon and how you can help to close the gap.
Sure. Yeah. And yeah, thanks. So actually no problem about the camera's not working, since technically I have a face made for radio. I'm probably doing everybody a favor. So not a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. I think
Cool.
I gave you all got permission for that, at least.
Yeah. So. Cool. Here we go. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, perfect.
Yay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm Rob with Video Telepathy, and we primarily, I'd say about 80-90% of our business are doing product videos and marketing materials for Amazon and e-commerce sellers. So that's kind of the main thing we do. And so we were going to talk about A+ video, which is basically kind of what is the media full stack, that you can put on an Amazon product page. And I was just going to kind of, quickly go through. So I actually just pulled up a random product page just to kind of give a little quick review and kind of talk about some of the things that we might want to look for and consider when we're actually, creating all this media and all this product, all these things. So we'll start out, of course, I highly recommend, that everybody, becomes brand registered, so you can have, add enhanced content and more content, because the more content you have, the better chance you have of converting your client and, kind of, winning the know, like, trust game. So the first thing I'll talk about is actually the product video. And so here, I won't play this video because I don't want to bore you guys. And since we're all our technical issues, who knows what's going to happen. So, but so a few things you want to look out for on the product demo video. What we do really is, as you know, Amazon is great at just having kind of an encyclopedia of rules in terms of services that nobody ever gets to see until your video gets rejected because it was violated some terms of service. And so just by us doing kind of thousands of these videos, we kind of figured out the secret sauce of, what is Amazon like versus what a video, how does a video convert? And so a few things is Amazon really hates, anything that's kind of hypey, salesy, direct response, buy my stuff, making claims, things like that. And so, I mean, we've even had videos where we had, people on the video and they were just enthusiastic and they got rejected because they're just like, oh, this is too hypey. And you're like, really? So kind of the secret sauce that we've come up with is actually something called a product demonstration video. And the goal is actually to put the product in the user's mind's eye. So you want the user to imagine, whatever that product is, like they've already purchased the product and they're using it and they're happy. So, in this case, I think, what is this, Gaines Family Farmstead sweet potato dog chews, maybe not themselves imagining, chewing on dog chews, but maybe, hey, Fido's gonna love this thing, look at the video, they're eating these things like crazy. So that's really kind of the focus. And so you want to focus on really putting, not using any kind of fake imagery, stock footage. Even 6 or 7 years ago, I think any video was just amazing. People, like, anything would convert, anything would sell. But as there's more and more video, and especially on Amazon, people are becoming much more discerning. They're looking at the videos and they're saying, oh, this guy's video is kind of cheesy and it's got all this stock footage. And then they look at this one and like, oh, wow, this looks amazing. I want to buy this. And so there's this kind of huge disparity now, between as far as kind of quality of video and what people are expecting. So the people that are doing quality video, it really does have an effect. And we see, I would say, there's all kinds of statistics, as far as like how adding a video will convert on your Amazon page, how much, but it's really kind of obtuse because it depends on your product, it depends on the audience, it depends on the quality of the video. But I would say conservatively, I mean, there's claims like people like, oh, it's 600% increase or whatever, but it's it's usually a marketing agency that's saying that. So, but I would say a 30% increase is a pretty fair, estimate on as far as how that could help you convert. So, you know, and again, that depends on like how much traffic you're getting. So, and that's the thing, you know, if you're selling, you know, 100K a week or something, you know, 30% is a pretty big bump. So,
Definitely.
you know, the next thing we're going to look at are actually like the actual product photos. And so I recommend also doing, you know, throwing in a couple white background photos. So you know, I think with the full stack, usually if you have a video, then you can add 6 more photos. So and I usually recommend just 1 white background and then like 5 lifestyles. And then as you can see too, and this is also the same thing goes with the product demonstration video, is you want to also support that video with your benefit points, not features, but benefit points. Like, how does it make their life better? You know, don't make false claims. You know, we use like dynamic text and music. We just kind of match it to the demographic. And so figure out who your audience is. And that's, you know, another thing when you're shooting the photos or considering, you know, a demo video, who's your audience? Who are you speaking to? So, you know, you don't want to have death metal music in the background, you know, if you're selling walkers to, you know, 90-year-old ladies or, you know, or something like that. So you want to match that look and feel up with the client, because then you're going to be much more relatable, because really that's the goal, is you know, you want them to know, like, trust you so that they can make a purchase. And that's, you know, the purpose of the photos and videos. So support it with dynamic text, you know, with the photos, like these guys, you know, so they're, you know, great photography. And they're also, you know, they're having text, you know, that's talking about all the benefit points on how it's going to make their dog's life better. And then scrolling down. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, and this is something that's pretty much overlooked by a lot of folks, are actually like the video shorts and related videos. And because this is kind of a way where it's an extra source where you can gain your client's trust, but it also is a way where, you know, your competition can actually poach your page and poach your business. And so it you know, it could either increase your business, or it could actually be a sieve, because for the related videos, like so these guys, so here's a related video for a related product, and it's Kuchar's sweet potato dog treats, or, you know, here's yummy potato fries. And so these are people that are actually selling you know, that are, you know, these guys' competition. And a good way to do, you know, to kind of do prevent that, and also help, you know, increase more sales and inform your clients more, are just create a series of 9 short, you know, 6 to 9 just video shorts that you can put in here, and that's going to occupy this space. So when somebody scrolls down there, they're going to see your stuff and not their stuff. And it could be a lot of, you know, all kinds of stuff. So like for related videos, anybody can upload stuff. So if, like, if you're using influencers, you know, you're doing any kind of influencer marketing, take those influencer videos and put them in the, you know, in the video related products. You know, videos for this product, you can do, you know, another demo video or an unboxing video or some kind of a training video, or, you know, something like that. And also up in the, you know, when you're doing the photography, you know, if it's show everything that comes with that product too. And that's something you can do also here in these video shorts, where, you know, so if it's something where it's some kind of, you know, maybe an electronic gadget, but it has like different chargers and accessories and things like that, show the accessories and pique, you know, kind of pique people's curiosity. Or say you have like a line of cosmetics, you know, I recommend, you know, show only that product for that product page, but who's to say you don't have all your other products maybe in the background? So that way people are going to search around and go, oh, well, I see, you know, they have this, you know, all natural, you know, organic shampoo, but then, you know, there's a bunch of other bottles lined up, and oh, they have like hair conditioner and hair shine and pomade or whatever. So they see that in the background, but you don't really want to feature all of the products, you know, in one video, you know, for a bunch of reasons. One, it just kind of dilutes it. The other is that, you know, what if you add another product, you know, then that video is obsolete. Or what if you delete a product, you know, from your lineup, then the video is obsolete also. So those are just kind of a few tips. And then we actually kind of, we just rolled out where we're doing this whole full stack. So we have a package where we're doing all the related video, the product photography, and the demo videos all in one kind of thing. So if anybody's interested, they can reach out later after the thing. So I think that's about it. How did I do time wise?
All good, all good. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to we do it a little bit longer because we have a little bit more time, but it's perfect, So so far, what we got the listing optimization. Obviously, if you go and want to sell, you need to have your listing optimized. You have to have everything perfectly done, and we have PPC beside, and we have the video. So the video part is for me, is like the close of the closing of everything. So now we got our listing running. You understand? So with this knowledge, what you just gave, there is definitely something perfectly lined up to the end. And I think this is for me, videos is even a step further from what we give with the text. You can actually see yourself. Maybe within the video, doing whatever the product likes you to do, or how you feel at that moment when the music is coming out. Obviously, as you mentioned, you don't want death metal and having an old lady drinking tea or something. This is obviously not what we want.
It would be kind of cool, but anyway.
Yeah, there are some funny things to do, maybe as well but for the imagination. But generally, it's you want if you have like you've seen dog food, you want some happy dog parents, who are walking around and feeding the dog and saying, "Oh, good dog," and it's like I can see the religion in the video. So I really like that. I really like the visual of it. And afterwards, when you have done it, then comes Nick.
There he
Nick. There we got him. So
all right, I'm gonna jump up.
Nick is early, actually.
Nick is early. Yeah.
I think it said it was at 7.
Yeah,
yes,
man.
I know.
I thought it was 50 minutes ago. This is what it showed in my calendar.
I know. It's okay. It's okay. We have a lot of little technical issues today, so I think it's all good. It's all good. At least we are all here. We talk about it, and we're happy and can give value to our listeners. I just mentioned listing optimization, and we have PPC. Now we had the videos, amazing over the videos. I love it. And now we have what everyone was waiting for. And Nick, you just came for the perfect timing. It's taxes.
Yeah, man. But
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, man. It's good to know. This is why I came at the last, because probably people were hoping that taxes would not show up. But you have no choice. After you do all the stuff, all the good stuff, after you're making money, then the tax guy come unexpectedly and tells you, guys, you make a lot of sales, so now give us some money back. That is how it works. So probably you should show me. I'm not Satan. You can. Anyways, let me actually show, for some reason I cannot actually turn on the video.
Yes, I know that. We spoke about this, Nick.
Okay.
It's me, and yeah, it's my mistake.
Anyways, guys, I know I'll just let you know how I look like. I'm a little like Omar, just shorter beards. I have glasses. I have the headset, and let me try to share, my screen I'll show you a picture of myself to see that I'm real. So, do you guys see my screen?
Oh yes, now we can see us all. Oh, perfect.
Okay. So let me start presenting.
Hey Nick, just one thing. The video, the live stream will not just cut off at 9, right?
No.
Okay, so we can continue as long as we want, because we want to hear Niche as well.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Hey Niche, and I know that you mentioned me. I'm fine, man. Just the time zones are mixed up, Anyway.
Yeah, I just messaged Nick checking to see if it was okay.
Yeah, me too. I was like, he never did this, so I was afraid.
By the way, one time I had a webinar, and me and Mina Elias, the PPC guru, we joined, and nobody was joining, and we started messaging everybody else, and they told, "Hey guys, it's 1 hour later." Okay, man. So, anyways, guys, so I'm gonna talk about, obviously, the thing that nobody wants to talk about, and me either, because I used to be an e-commerce seller for 10 years selling across Europe. But taxes, taxes are important. If you don't do them right, the tax guys would come after you, and you don't want to do that. I've experienced that myself, because one of my tax advisors made a mistake with one of our filings and were actually forced to pay penalty. And this is how I ended up actually joining Hellotax. I was a client for them. And well, after I sold my business, now I joined their company. I'm doing the partnership for them and for many other companies in the space. So I have also a partnership as a service agency. But today we're going to talk only about taxes and why this is important. So, just one thing, why you should consider expanding to Europe. A lot of companies are scared to do that, and brand owners, because it's hard, and all this stuff. But the thing is, there's few main points that you should consider when you're expanding to Europe. It's a huge revenue growth because it's not as competitive as the US market, for example. You're gonna access 400 plus million new customers. Europe has a population of over 700 millions, but 400 of those are over 18, meaning there's our potential clients. 27 new markets, new countries who haven't heard about your product. If you're selling in one market, you're transforming your company to a global one because you're selling to a whole new continent. If your competitors are not doing that already, you're gonna take them over and you can actually grow more than them. And the last part, of course, which is important, is the more sales you do, the more actually you order from your manufacturers, and obviously you can reduce the cost, meaning higher profit margins. So that's a few things that you should consider if you're not selling in Europe yet. So if you are selling in Europe or you're planning to sell in Europe, there is few things that are the so-called main blockers stopping you from doing that. The most important one here, I have it, one is language barrier, but actually the most important is number 3, having the product or having the right product. Because if you don't have product, you don't need translations, you don't need video, you don't need listings, you don't need taxes, you don't need anything. So having the right product is the most important thing, and having the product in the first place. So once you have a product which you're selling successfully in your country, in a different continent, different market, and you're doing 500,000 plus per year, then you should consider selling in Europe. And the one thing which is the main obstacle after obviously having the product is having the right translations, the language barrier. I know Omar spoke about that already, so I'm not going to go into details, but if your translations are not done correctly, nobody's going to buy your product. As simple as that. I know it because I was selling in 20 markets across Europe. I know from experience. And Amazon tried to use their own translation to translate Amazon Sweden. It was a whole mess, so don't do that. Use Omar for that, and you'll be all set, because you guys heard already what he's doing, so I'm not gonna go over that. So after the language barrier, there comes the value added tax, which is the VAT, which is the so-called sales tax in the US and many markets. So this is something that you need to pay when you're selling products and services in Europe. We only cover the VAT for products, but you need to pay that for services. So the other thing which is important is customs and logistics, because you need to import your stock to Europe and you need a partner to cover that. And we have such partners in our network as well. So language, VAT, customs, logistics, and the first thing, of course, having the right product. And here is some stats for Europe. It's actually a little old, more than a year, but this shows you the monthly visits in millions in the different markets. So far, the last stats that I checked, Amazon has increased that. So Amazon almost 1 billion, eBay 360 millions, Allegro, Wildberries. To be honest, I've never heard these guys Wildberries. Have you guys heard them?
I just wanted to say that, but I've never heard of them either.
Yeah, honestly, my guys set up this report. I know Zawando and all these guys are partners, but Wildberries, anyways, probably they made a joke. But anyways, I mean, it's a huge market. That's the bottom line. You should consider expanding here. It's still early compared to the US and other markets. So, and just to tell more about Hellotax and what we're doing, what problem are we solving? Hellotax was built by 2 ex-Amazon sellers, and with the sole idea to help online sellers with the VAT compliance when they're selling in Europe, because this is the one thing that you cannot, if you don't have it, you cannot start selling in Europe. It's simple as that, and that's the only thing that we do: VAT registration and filing for online sellers. What you need to know when you're selling in Europe: you need to know what's your VAT liability from the past or the present, in all the markets where you're operating. And obviously, if you don't do that, you might get penalties or even have your account suspended, So you need to register for VAT in one or more markets. You need to file reports based on their different regulations. You need to have a complete view of the movement of your goods and stock. So if you're moving stock from one market to one market, you need to report that. And the last part, you need to have a complete visibility on all your sales channels, because if you don't and you don't report something, again, you're gonna be penalized. So that's something that you should consider and you should be aware of. And when company comes to me, I have such calls every day. They ask me, okay, where should they go? Amazon told me to do Pani. Okay, I mean, unless you're a very big brand that you would like to have storage in multiple countries, don't start with multiple countries, and don't start with just any country. I mean, because it's very different, in regards to the time that it takes to register in the documents which are required. So this is like a little chart showing which is the easiest market. Poland is one of the easiest, and one of the hardest is Spain, because they require original documents, notary, and all this stuff. And Germany and Italy are one of the better markets to start with, And I'm gonna go into more details later on why Germany, but Germany, it's probably the gateway to Europe for several reasons that I'm gonna cover a little later. So somebody would ask, okay, why should they consider registering for VAT? There is actually two things that you need to consider. Before, the so-called distance selling threshold was the reason. When this was reached, you need to register. Right now, this is no longer valid since last July 2021. So right now, if you're a European company, once you hit 10,000 euro, you can opt in for the one-stop shop, and you can start delivering to the whole European Union without doing multiple VAT registration, which is a great relief for a lot of companies. The one thing which is still valid is storage in a country. If you store goods in any market in Europe, you must register for VAT. So this is still valid. So if you host products in one market, you just need one VAT number. If you store in multiple markets, you need VAT in each of the numbers in each of the countries that you're storing, and you need to register the VAT before you start. Actually, from the beginning, once you start storing, you need to have the VAT already. So this is how it works. And let me go to the next page. There is some good news for anybody who is selling in Europe or considering to sell in Europe from the UK to EU and for the EU to UK. This was reopened in March, and this is the so-called European Fulfillment Network, which allows fulfillment from the UK to the EU. And starting from March, you start using that, and you don't need to worry about customs or anything, as long as your product is under 150 euro. So you need to have access to both the UK and the EU central accounts. Obviously, you need to have the FBA offers for your products in both the UK and EU, and you have to have the inventory eligible in the local fulfillment centers. And obviously, that's great news, because a lot of sellers who stopped selling after Brexit can now resume with this reopening of the EFN right now. But of course, remember, you need to be selling. You need to have products. Actually, the product that you're selling need to be under 150 euro, and that's basically how it works. It's a huge relief for companies selling in from the UK to EU and vice versa. And this is for Amazon only. So when somebody asks me, what is the solution? What should they do when they start selling in Europe? So this is the thing that we always recommend, because otherwise, like I said, Amazon is going to tell, okay, do the PANU, which involves multiple registrations and all this stuff. Amazon makes a lot of fees when you enable the PANU, but it's not the smart way to expand in Europe. We always recommend to do the following: get the VAT registration in the UK or Germany. Germany is what I recommend most of the time, because there is few reasons. If you're an English speaker, Germany doesn't require translation. You can provide the documents in English. If you're a US company, for example, a specific tax authority deals with your documents, so you get the VAT much quicker compared to even UK companies and some non-EU companies, because specific tax authority deals with the company based on their location. So And the other thing which is very important for Germany is central location in Europe, biggest market after Amazon.com. And it would be actually used as a base for expansion to Europe. You set up the VAT there. We have a customs partner who help you with the importing all the customs related stuff. You start selling in Germany. If you're selling with Amazon, you can use the Amazon OSS registration. You can sell on all the European Union Amazon marketplaces without needing additional VAT. So you can start selling. You can ABC test all the markets, and once you establish that you're selling great, then it would make sense to have a second VAT. But just to summarize, one VAT is what you need if you're selling on Amazon for non-EU companies. If you are selling off Amazon, for example, on Shopify, your own private label website or anything, then you would need to set up the OSS as well. Is the other option to allow you to sell to clients, to B2C clients across the European Union without doing multiple VAT registration. And of course, we do either the VAT if you just for Amazon, or the VAT plus the OSS if you're selling on Shopify or other channels. And we're going to do the VAT monthly filings or the OSS quarterly filing. So this is the only thing that you need to get started. There is nothing else, and that's what we recommend most of the time. And just to wrap up everything, what we offer on our site. I don't have time right now to show you the demo of our tool, but I know Christian and Christoph, which are the founders of Hellotax, build the tool which is tailored for e-commerce sellers. And this is how it looks like. We do the VAT registration for you. We assign an account manager. Our account managers speak multiple languages, so they communicate with you. We collect the documents. We do the registration. You get that in 2-3 months usually. After this is done, you actually log into your software with your account manager. You connect your Amazon account. You connect your Shopify for a plugin. If you're selling outside of Shopify or Amazon, you simply upload your transactions once per month, or any export transactions, because if you have import transactions, we can reclaim the VAT. You can manage everything there. And once we file the report on behalf of you, we publish that in the tool, and you can see the VAT return and you can pay that. If you're a non-EU company selling on Amazon, you don't need to pay the VAT return because Amazon is going to pay that on behalf of you. So it's even easier. But that's as simple as how it is. And we have a free tool that you can check out, and we're giving away 6 free VAT registration. Each of the registration worth 300 euros. So if you would like to claim that and get started for Europe, go ahead and do that. I mean, the choice is always yours. We provide all the education, all the help, but you need to make the next step. So thank you guys. I hope that I didn't bore you with the tax stuff, but that's important. So
yeah, definitely. We were waiting on you. We were waiting about this to come. So we're quite happy that this happened now, and we got it off the table. So now a very exciting step in the Amazon business. After we have done everything, we have Nish talking about the final exit, which everyone is waiting for. I'm sure you have heard a lot about it. Aggregators selling your business for a lot of money. Everything is possible in this crazy market. Nish, please take over.
Sure, thanks guys. So let me share my screen first. Give me a second. Can you see my screen?
Yes, everything good.
Okay. Right, so thanks, Omar, for the intro. So I'm just going to take you through a few different things here. I'll try and keep it quick, so I know we're going over as well. So I'll go through a few things. So one, why, as a seller, would you want to exit your business? Some sellers come to us and they're not even sure. Second, what are the types of brands or businesses that we like to buy at Olsam? Third, what does the sales process look like? Fourth, what are the drivers of valuation? That's obviously a big thing for any seller. What's their business going to be valued at? Number five steps that I think you can do to prepare before you sell your business. And then finally, just a couple of slides on Olsam and our background. But yeah, to start with, before I go into it, just want to give a quick very quick background on Olsam and myself. So Olsam, we're a e-commerce aggregator. We predominantly buy Amazon brands based in London in the UK. And we were founded at the end of 2020. And we've steadily grown since then with a number of brands that we've acquired. We have between 20 and 30 brands at the moment in our portfolio. And then myself, I work in the investment team. I look after origination of deals. So I lead on events. I do a lot of webinars, podcasts, sponsorships. I speak to sellers directly. I travel quite a lot for events as well. I lead on the origination side and some strategy as well. And then prior to this, I was working at Amazon for just over 4 years in Amazon Marketplace the whole time. And I was leading part of Amazon's EU FBA business based in the UK, but working across all the EU business. So very familiar with some of the things that Nick was just talking about and Stefano as well earlier. So yeah, let me get into it. So first slide, as I mentioned, is on why, as a seller, why would you be looking to exit? So there's a few different things here, and this has really come from feedback from sellers that we've spoken with. So the first is cash flow. As a lot of sellers are living sort of month to month because of the amount of cash they have to put into buying products, into cost of goods sold. And if you're facing cash flow issues, a logical thing is to sell your business to get cash flow into that lump sum of money. So that's the first reason. Second is second and third both come into resourcing. So a lot of sellers that we speak with got to a stage of their business where they've grown it with 1, 2, 3 people, and the next step to get to the next level is to invest in IT infrastructure, for example, or invest in demand planning software, either outsource or bring people in-house to do branding and marketing, all these sorts of things. And as Omar, you mentioned earlier, Amazon is becoming it's way more competitive than it was in 2010. So you really need specialists in all of these. So if you got to a certain stage in your business where you can't grow it anymore, a logical next step is to sell it to people who have that expertise in-house as well. So the fourth thing on here is a lot of sellers have a lot of their net worth centered onto their business, which totally makes sense. And you might be wanting to expand into a different asset class. And number 5, similar along the same lines, you might be looking to diversify into new revenue streams. A lot of your money is tied up into Amazon business. And then lastly, some people just want to cash out, which totally makes sense. So these are the most common reasons that we've heard from sellers. People listening might have different reasons as well, but these are the most common ones. So we've gone through why, as a seller, you'd be looking to exit. The next thing I want to go through is the types of brands that we like to buy. So let me just go through the high level. So different aggregators vary on the types of brands that they want to buy. One thing I should point out is that majority of aggregators aren't buying at the moment. We're one of the very few aggregators that are actually buying. So that's why I'm going through our sort of specific investment criteria rather than looking at aggregators as a whole. So for us, we predominantly like Amazon businesses with most of their revenue coming from FBA. Just on the metrics there, we like products that are doing well. So with good reviews, with good product ratings, high up in the rankings in their respective subcategories. The big thing that we like when it comes to products themselves is ones that have been brand registered and have differentiation. This is key. So when you're building your brand to sell it to an aggregator is not looking to hold on to that brand for a short amount of time. Well, at least we're not anyway. We're looking long term. We want to build that brand into something that's recognizable and well known. An example brand would be Anchor, which everyone knows and is an example of an Amazon Marketplace brand. So in order to do that, we want something that's defensible. So we need differentiated branding. We like things with brands with defensibility in the form of IP or accreditation, basically anything that's going to stop another seller coming in and undercutting you. So that is key for us. And then when it comes to the financial metrics, typically we look at businesses $3 million and above with revenue. We would look at some businesses below that as well, but this is usually what we would look at. When it comes to the margin, again, we'd look at typically at 20% plus, but we would go below that if we really like the brand. And then the competitive advantage I just spoke about, we would like differentiation, like a good IP, trademarks, review mode is important as well, but less so than the differentiation and the IP. And then we love growth opportunities, predominantly geographic and product expansion. So that's our investment criteria. So we've been through the brands we like to buy. The next thing is, what does the process look like from your point of view if you're looking to sell your business to us? So we like to call it the 6x6 process, 6 steps in 6 weeks. In reality, this will change depending on your brand. So we've done deals that are quicker than this, and we've done deals that have taken longer as well. This is, we'll call it an average. So first step, we will have a phone call with you, and it will usually be someone from our investment team, either myself or one of my colleagues on the investment team will speak directly with you. And this call is really to introduce ourselves, get to know you, get to know your brand high level, and see if we can work together, understand what your expectations are. There's no point in us going down the process of acquiring you and you going through all the work of giving us details if our expectations are not aligned. So that's the first thing, to see if we're going to be a good partner for you. If we get past that step, then we will sign an NDA. So we'll share an NDA with you, and so we're not sharing any of your data with anybody else. And that's a simple step. We'll share that via DocuSign. And the third step is we will do some high-level data analysis of your account. So either through third-party software like Sellerboard, or you can extract the information on your financials from your account and send it to us. We in-house, like within the investment team, we will analyze that, look at how well you've been performing over the last however many years you've been selling for, how well is the category doing, how well are the individual products doing, forecast things out as well, and see, is this a business that we could grow if we ended up acquiring? And then if you've got things like IP and trademarks, we'll try to investigate those a little bit as well. So that usually takes like 2 days. And then the next step, if we really like that, is then we go to our investment committee. And the investment committee is made up of our investment team plus people from our board. And then we present the offer to them, say, we really love this business for these reasons. This is the offer we'd like to give. They sign off on it. And then we come to you with an LOI, which you've probably heard of. It's called letter of intent, which basically lays down, this is the value, this is the offer we'd like to give you. This is, these are the terms. This is what the earnout would look like, timeline, and the next steps. And then if you accept, then we'll go into a period of exclusivity, which means that you're only dealing with us. You're not speaking to any other people that you're looking to sell to. And then in this period, we'll go through due diligence, which is basically more detailed research into your business. So we did high level in step 3. In step 5, after exclusivity, we're going into deep due diligence, which is really going through every single aspect of your business. We'll ask you for detailed financial statements, supplier agreements, contracts, trademark, all of these things to really understand how your business works. And then during this period, you'll have meetings with different people from our team, not just the investment team. It'll be our supply chain team, brand managers. And then at the end of this period, if we've been through all of that and we like what we see, then we will close, and that's we'll sign the purchase agreements with you, transfer funds, and that's called close. So typically this whole thing can take 6 weeks on average, sometimes slightly less, sometimes more, and it really depends on your brand. So that's what the process looks like from your point of view. And the next step is valuation. What are the things that drive valuation? So there's a few different things here. Again, it varies from business to business, but I've put here the sort of key ones. So a few things here around age of business. If a business has only been around for 1 year, we only have 1 year of data to go off. So it's much more difficult to estimate the value. We prefer businesses that have been around for at least 2 years. Margin we already covered. We said around 20%. I know this says 10 to 20, but typically we'd only look at sort of 20% plus. Growth rates. Now this is key. And we've got a category there as well, but it depends on the growth rate of the category, because when we're buying a business, we're basically betting on the category also. And then also growth rate of your business within that category. Obviously, a higher growth rate is better. And then category, we have some preferred categories that we really like. So we really like outdoors categories, sports, pets, baby, health and wellness, but we won't do supplements. So those are the sort of categories we like. Trend, again, this is sort of self-explanatory. How is the category doing? How's the business doing? Growing trend is good. And then reviews as well. And then the only one here that's missing is differentiation, which is difficult to quantify, but that is a key one for us, which I mentioned before. And the multiples at the moment, typically we're seeing multiples between 2 and 3 times, which is at the level that you were seeing sort of pre 2020. Some good businesses are going for more, around 3.5 times, but that's typically what we're seeing. And when I say multiple, this is a multiple of your SDE, which is basically on your income statement or P&L, is right at the bottom of your net income, and then we add back in some expenses that aren't vital for the running of the business. If we bought it, like salaries and expenses and things like that, and then it's a multiple of that over the last year. So let's say your business is making 5 million, and then your SDE over the last year was 1 million, and we're paying a 3.5 times multiple on that, then we would pay you 3.5 million. That's how it works. So that's the valuation. And then the next slide is on how you can prepare. So there's a few different things here. I'll try and go through these quite quickly. So the first one here is get mentally prepared. Decide, do you even want to sell your business? And then if you do, how do you want to go about selling it? You can go direct to an aggregator. You can contact us directly on our website or any of us on LinkedIn, or you can go through a broker. There are different, there are pros and cons to both. With a broker, you'll have to pay slightly more because they'll take a cut of the deal. However, with good brokers, you'll get access to a lot of aggregators. If you go direct to an aggregator, you won't have to pay that extra. But then it's slightly more effort on your part to go to every single aggregator. Different sellers do different things. So that's the first thing. Second thing, get on top of your financials. This is not as much of an issue now as it was last year, but there are still some sellers who aren't on top of their financials, don't have good accounting statements ready. The simple solution to this is reach out to an accountant. If you're ever going to sell your business, you will need financial statements in place. So the main one being your income statement or P&L. And there are so many accountants out there, e-commerce accountants, specific Amazon accountants, just Google them. Or if you're on Seller Central, check out Amazon's SPN, the Selling Partner Network, and there are accountants on there that you can contact. This is vital. Third step, prepare your business for scalability. This basically means, going back to what I was saying before, as an aggregator, when we're buying a business, we're looking at it long term. We want to grow this business over several years. We're not looking to hold on to it just for 1 year and sell it. So think about the different things that you're unable to do right now because you're hamstrung by the resources or investment, and spell out to us, these are the things that I would do if I had more resources, but since you have more resources, you can do this. So an example would be, we were speaking to a seller, I think this was towards the end of last year, who was a really good product, really loved the product, but they were doing FBA, but they weren't using a 3PL. They were, manufacturer was selling their products directly to their own house. They were picking and packing there and then sending to Amazon FBA in bulk. So a simple thing here to do is use a 3PL instead. And that's exactly what we would have done if we bought that business. So that's the third step. Fourth step, work on your pitch. Remember, as much as we're trying to assess your business and see if we'd be a good partner for you, you're also trying to see if we're going to be a good partner, or we're going to be a good partner for you. And you're trying to assess if this is the aggregator you're speaking to is going to be good enough to run your business. So work on the sales points of your business. These are things that are going well. These are things that aren't going so well. And if you had more resources, you would build. And then finally, prepare your question list. Make sure you ask lots of questions. This is someone who's about to buy your business, or is interested in buying your business. Make sure you know them well, and don't be afraid to ask. Might seem like stupid questions. Make sure you ask them early on. So those, for me, are the 5 key steps that you need to take before you sell your business or before you speak to an aggregator. Now, just moving on to finally a couple of slides on Allsam. So one here is on what makes us different from some of the other aggregators. So first, and probably the key one, is that we didn't go out and raise money and then figure out how to run businesses. We've gone the other way around. We've run our own businesses before, and then we've gone out and raised money to buy and operate other businesses ourselves. So we've got several people within the business who have run brands on Amazon and on other marketplaces as well. Myself and several other people, including Sam as one of the co-founders, worked at Amazon within Amazon Marketplace. So we've been sort of on both sides of it. So we're an operator first. Second thing, economies of scale. We have different teams within the business that cover all the different areas of expertise that you would need. So whether it's advertising, marketing, managing the seller central, the brand itself, copywriting, all of these things, we've got experts within the business and who have done this before for their own brands or working at other businesses before. Third thing is program knowledge. So as I mentioned before, we've got people who worked within Amazon before, launched Amazon programs. So myself, for example, I was part of the team that launched Seller for Prime in the UK in 2017, and then I was working on EU FBA business. Sam was one of the co-founders, launched the B2B business in the UK. So we've got expertise within the team from launching programs at Amazon and from also running programs with Amazon as well. And then finally, this is a really important one, personal approach. So where we can, we will try and meet you in person, especially if you're in the UK, we will always come and meet you directly. But even if you're outside of the UK, we will always do our best to meet you in person, because this is ultimately a very personal decision. We're not selling something to you, you're hopefully selling your business to us, something that you've spent a lot of time and investment building up over time. And we understand how much of a personal loss that will be as well, even if you do get paid for it. So for us, it's all about building that connection early on. And the final slide here is just a case study of one of the brands we've run ourselves. This isn't one that we acquired, but I mentioned before that we're an operator first, that we've run our own businesses before. One of our co-founders, Sam, this is the business that he founded when he was working at Amazon. It's a company called Beachmore Books. They sell sort of premium notebooks. And then he and his co-founder built it to a level where it was very well reviewed, one of the top sellers within the subcategory. And then he exited the business in 2019 before founding Allsam. So if you'd like more information on Allsam or any of the information I've just given you there, please feel free to reach out. Here's my email address. You can also reach out to us on our website as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nish. That was amazing the whole way through. I think it's so important to get the fear, the so-called fear, out of it, because as you know, when you have your own business and you want to sell it, it's kind of your baby and you give it away, So you need to have capable people that not just want to snatch your baby. Snatching this out of your hands and take it away and you get the money and that's it. No, you really need to take the person by the hand. Like you said, you meet him and you take it through a really humanly process, because as everyone knows, we built this up. Everyone when we build our business, we really kind of attached to it. So I think this is really good, really human approach, and I'm really happy that Allsam is capable and is valuing as well this approach. Definitely, thank you so much, Nish, for this. And you can always get in contact with Nish. I think you have seen the email that he
just contact me on LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn's fine.
Perfect. We're all on LinkedIn, so it's all good. Great. Thank you so much. I just wanted to squeeze something between, because we as well give some things here. If you are interested, if you want to get in contact, for example, with Hellotax, like Nick already says, he will offer 6 times free VAT registration to the first 6 of the webinar registrant who reply to this email. Total giveaway of $2,000. Claim it through the code WebMar. I will go to the 2 more of our of these offers, and then we come to Q&A, because you guys have like 5 questions open. and then we're going to close this down because I'm sure I let you already too long in this webinar, and with all these challenges, you know, I'm very, very happy that you stay with us, that you're so patient with us, you know. Thank you so much, whoever is attending at the moment. So Ecompartner offers 3 free account audits. Okay, 3 free account audits, 3 market research to the first 3 of the webinar registrant to reply to this email. Did I say it correctly, Stefano?
Yes, I guess it's the first 6, depending on which combination. But it's okay. I mean, whoever replies first, I guess.
Exactly. That's what. Exactly. So the account value of the audit, account audit value is about $550. So in total, $1,650 is Ecompartners putting on the table here. So myself with Margin Business, we offer 10% on your first invoice. So no maximum amount. So whatever you come with, 10,000, 20,000, whatever, 10% we take it off that first invoice. And yeah, so just hit the reply button and book a free consultation with us, and give us a call. Marginbusiness.com, Omar at marginbusiness.com, or on LinkedIn. We are all on LinkedIn, so you will find us so easily. We all connected. So video telephony offers as well 10% on the first invoice for all webinar attendees. Just claim it with the coupon code 10%. You can come back to me on that one if you have any questions, or if you need that, or directly talk with Willie at videotelepathy.com. Rob Burns. Niche, you can contact him anytime. He got amazing offers as well. So when you want to sell your company, you will see that they really can make you happy as well in this aspect. So the consultation obviously is free, and they definitely will take you through the process and make you happy. So we have 5 questions left. Let's go through them. We have here, whoever wants to replies. You don't have to raise your hands, you know. It's okay. So I think this is good for Stefano, this one. What's the difference between all EU countries?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. Well, I have to add, because I think I didn't mention that the audience and the listeners can reach out to me at Ecompartner.global or on LinkedIn. I didn't put that in my presentation, so just to be clear on how they can reach out, or even in the email, right? If they are just answering.
Sure.
So to answer your question, what's the difference? Well, first of all, I mean, it's, as I said, the listing have to be different, because people are different between, let's say, Spain and Germany, right? So that's something that Omar knows for sure, how to differentiate the listings. In general, I would say that it depends on the products and the category you're selling in, and as I said before, it's a matter of understanding what level of competition you have, and what are the different CPC changes. So that's different right there, right? Usually UK has the highest CPC, Italy, Spain, the lowest, but still that also depends on the category. Supplements CPC is usually higher. And also you have difference in seasonality, because Spain and Italy have much more sun than Germany, and you can sell beach products better, right? So it all depends. To be honest, it's a very generic question. So the answer is it depends, but I've given some insights.
Great, that's already really good. We have the second question. Is it a good idea? I think this is as well for, we can get this to Nick, you know, is it a good idea to start selling in all EU countries at the same time? Is Nick still here?
Yeah, is it a good idea to put all your eggs in different baskets? Yeah, I mean, probably sometimes yes, but not in regards to VAT. You know, you would need to wait. First, you spend a lot of money to do multiple VAT registration. Then success is never guaranteed in all these markets. And when you have the VAT, you need to file the reports, you need to pay the fees and all this stuff. And the tax authority doesn't care if you're making sales or not. So always start small, 1, maximum, let's say 3 markets, and then you can expand based on the number of sales you do. If you're not doing sales, it doesn't make sense to do that. And as I explained in my presentation, you can sell and deliver to clients across the European Union from one location, like I said, Germany. So you don't need multiple ones. You would need multiple ones eventually if you're selling a lot in all these markets, and if it makes sense to set up storage in each country, and obviously reduce the shipping cost and the delivery time. But not from the beginning, unless of course you're a really huge company and you think that you're gonna do great. But thinking and making assumption is something that I would never recommend. Test and you can expand pretty quickly. You know, I'm talking about in a matter of months. So
I think very good reply. I would say the same, you know, so always testing, seeing what is the best, especially for your product. Maybe, you know, maybe that's not Germany, maybe it's Italy, maybe it's Spain, like as well Stefano said already. So diversify and try, test. I think very good. So we have a tax related question. I think we can put this one together. So can non-EU businesses use OSS reporting as well?
yes, of course. EU companies and non-EU companies can do that. If you're selling on Amazon, you don't need the OSS because Amazon is going to use their own OSS. And obviously, so, but if you're selling on Shopify and other marketplaces with actually platforms which are not so-called DIM suppliers, for example, Amazon, eBay are DIM suppliers. So they're going to collect the VAT, they're going to pay the tax authority, and they're going to use their OSS to make deliveries. So if you're selling on Shopify, then you would be able to do OSS yourself. But the short answer is yes.
Okay, and the next one is as well for you. Can I use the old VAT regime instead of OSS?
Yes, of course, you can do that, but this means the following, you know, if you would like to use the old regime, whenever you hit the threshold in the specific market, you would need to do a VAT registration there. So you would be forced to do multiple VAT registrations instead of doing one VAT and one OSS. So honestly, I mean, just to know, the new regime was applied to make it easier for e-commerce sellers to expand in Europe with less bureaucracy. So of course you can do that, but it doesn't make sense.
Okay, sounds really good. And this one we got for niche. How to ensure my long-term success on Amazon Europe, or we can say as well, especially on Amazon.
Is this from a
yes.
Yeah,
Okay, I mean in general, because we prepare for the exit, and obviously everything what we do needs to be, normally when we open a business, needs to be with the end result in our heads already. I mean, I didn't do it. I think many entrepreneurs don't do it, but I learned this now. When you start a business, you need to already plan your exit along the way. So this is definitely a question. Yes.
Sure. So if you're talking about specifically success in Europe, I would go back to a lot of sellers try to do too many things at once. And I think it was Nick who said this, where he said, you know, going pan-EU straight away is the wrong thing to do. What I would say is the most important thing when you're exiting your business, the buyer is looking for a brand that's overperforming versus probably like what it's worth. That's just being honest, right? So if you're let's say you're only selling a few SKUs and you're a small brand and it's very niche and you're only making, you know, versus some of these other bigger brands, you're making a lot less revenue per year, but your margin's good, but you're only in the UK or you're only in France. That's actually probably an advantage because you've got a good brand, you've got a good product, and you're high up in the subcategory rankings. That shows that if the buyer can then grow within, let's say, France and then expand out into Europe, if they're already doing well in one country, they'll probably do well in the others. Always try and maximize each of those different levers. So high product rating, high review mode, differentiation with the brand, and high ranking within the subcategory. Those are the things you want to be maximizing. It doesn't matter if you're doing it in one locale or country or doing it across several. If you're doing that in just one place, that's fine. Obviously, if you're doing that consistently across all the European marketplaces, then that's great. You know, someone will definitely pay you more for it. Your business will have a high SDE and they'll pay you a higher multiple. But it's better to be doing well in one place or within Europe than doing mediocre across several different marketplaces, because you won't get a good multiple, but also it's just harder for you to operate. So don't underestimate, if you've got a business that's operating fairly seamlessly, you're not spending lots and lots of time on it. That's also an advantage, because it shows that it's set up in a way where it doesn't need lots and lots of time and effort to run.
That makes definitely a lot of sense. Thank you for that, Nish. We have another question. I think you replied already, Rob, but I would like to have this live again because I think it's very interesting, and a lot of people will have this answer again, and maybe the ones who haven't seen it. Lotte Kras, she asked a lot of good questions. I can see this here in the chat, and it's I really like it. Thanks for asking these questions, Lotte, if you're still here and hear us. If not, this will be anyway recorded. So videos on Amazon, what do you think, Rob? How long should they be?
Yeah, so we've seen probably the best conversion really around 35 to 40 seconds, because it's easy, it's still easy enough to condense down maybe, 4 to 6 benefit points. And people's attention spans are so short these days that they really just want to get that information, get, whatever they want from it, and then move on. So 35 to 40-ish seconds for a demo video is kind of the sweet spot. Some of the micro videos, down below, I mean, they can be as short as 15 seconds, because really you're just answering like one little short question, or maybe it's an influencer saying something. They can be longer, but you're just trying to occupy that space and inform people a little bit more. So
really like short and a lot of good information. So the customer can, I mean, I'm sure there is a script, like how you do it at best, in order to get the customer's attention early, and that he goes through the video actually. But this is your expertise, and I'm sure you're the one who can really keep the customer on without he feeling that he is 40 seconds actually on the video, which can be quite a long time as well.
Yeah, exactly. You want to kind of visually hook them in the beginning with, with the video and in text or whatever, to try to engage them and get their attention. And then you want to also kind of have transitions from one shot to another, maybe every 5 to 15 seconds. So that, it keeps things moving and it keeps their interest, and that way they stay engaged for 35 to 40 seconds. So.
Okay, that sounds really good. I'm really, really happy that I had you all here, because it's always such a great value what we can give, and as well what I learn in these webinars, which is priceless, because you have like 4 experts. I don't like to really the word expert, but I'm using it sometimes. Having here with me and speak with me, and I can pick from everyone the brain, which in these meetings or webinars is just priceless. So thank you so much, Stefano, Rob, Nish, and Nick, that you have been here with me, have been so patient, because I really, it was my fault. I didn't turn on the option for you guys to turn on the camera, only myself. I'm not selfish. It's really, really, I did a mistake here, and sorry about that, but still that you stick with me and we did it. And next time, let's do it again. And then we're going to do the Zoom setup a lot better. So I learned from my mistakes.
I think Omar is a narcissist. He just wanted to show his face.
Exactly.
Okay,
Thank you, Omar. Thank you, Omar.
Okay,
Thanks,
you, Omar.
Omar.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.